WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
Hey, WNBA fans, remember when Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court and viewership shot up by 400%? Well, now she's out of the playoffs and the league is in trouble. But here's the real question. Is the WNBA too dependent on one player? Let's talk about it. You know what's crazy? Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she took it over. Every game she played was like watching a highlight reel in real time. Crossovers, no-look passes, and those deep threes that had everyone's jaws on the floor. It was insane. And get this, viewership went up by 400%. That's not a typo. 400%. One player changed the whole game overnight. But now Clark's out of the playoffs, and the WNBA's facing a big problem.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark, and she has made it into something. I know how great she is because of Caitlin Clark. The Arike Amagawali, and I'm sorry if I messed up the name, the girl in Dallas. That girl's a baller. These guys are all working off of platforms that were already built long before they got there, and they have not elevated that platform.
What happens when your hero leaves town? That's what we're gonna find out. You won't believe what's coming next in this wild WNBA story. So Clark's out, and suddenly the WNBA's looking at empty seats and silent TVs. It's like someone flipped a switch. But here's the real kicker. The drop in viewership is way worse than anyone expected. Want to know how much worse? Let's break it down. When Caitlin Clark was on the court, nearly 2 million people were glued to their screens. That's a whole lot of eyeballs. But now, the average game is lucky to hit 400,000 viewers. That's a massive nosedive, and it's happening fast. You know what's even crazier? It's not just about TV ratings. The Indiana Fever, Clark's team, was packing the house every game. Now, with her out of the playoffs, those same seats are emptying out faster than you can say airball. Some fans are straight up saying they won't watch again until Clark's back in action. Talk about loyalty. But here's where it gets real. This isn't just about one team or one player. The whole league is feeling the sting. Attendance is down, interest is dropping, and the excitement, it's like someone let the air out of the ball. Clark wasn't just a player. She was a one-woman hype machine. And now the WNBA is scrambling to keep that energy alive. Think about it. One rookie comes in and boosts viewership by 400%, then leaves and it all comes crashing down. That's not just a dip. That's a full-on swan dive into the deep end. And it's got everyone asking, is the WNBA putting all its eggs in one basket? Now, don't get me wrong, the league has been growing overall. More people are tuning in, more fans are showing up.
The Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark tonight.
Oh, gotta watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
That she's with just brought a lot to the WNBA and also to the game itself and for women, so women's sports.
But this Clark situation, it's like a big flashing warning sign. What happens when your golden goose takes a break? The WNBA is finding out the hard way, and it's not pretty. Imagine you're running the league. You've got this superstar bringing in new fans left and right. Everything's looking up, then boom, she's out, and suddenly you're watching those same fans head for the exits. It's like building a house on sand and then acting surprised when the tide comes in. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this just a temporary setback, or is it exposing a bigger problem? Are we seeing the limits of star power, or is this a wake-up call for the WNBA to spread the love around a bit more? Some analysts are already ringing alarm bells about the league's future.
the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010. And last night, it was no exception. They were sky high for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games. And during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all. Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catchings.
They're saying, hey, if one player can make or break your whole season, you might want to rethink your game plan. And you know what? They might have a point. It's not just about Clark, though. Her exit is shining a spotlight on how the WNBA markets itself. Are they relying too much on individual stars instead of building up the excitement of the game itself? It's like putting all your money on one stock instead of diversifying your portfolio. Risky business, if you ask me. Here's a wild thought. What if the WNBA doesn't need another Clark? Picture this, a league where every game is must-see, not because of one superstar, but because of a whole crew of game changers. Is that even possible? Well, the WNBA's about to find out. They're in a tough spot, no doubt. Caitlin Clark came in like a tornado, shook everything up, and now she's gone. But here's the thing, the league can't just sit around waiting for her to come back. They've got to find a way to keep the fans hooked, and fast. So who's gonna step up? That's the million-dollar question. The WNBA's got some serious talent, but they need someone who can light up the scoreboard and light up social media at the same time. It's not just about skills, it's about star power. Aja Wilson's name keeps popping up. She's got game, no doubt. Her playoff performance pulled in nearly 1 million viewers. That's not Clark numbers, but it's nothing to sneeze at. Wilson's got that mix of talent and personality that could make her a fan favorite. But here's where it gets interesting. What if the WNBA doesn't put all its eggs in one basket this time? Instead of looking for the next Caitlin Clark, what if they build up a whole squad of stars? Spread the love, you know? Dawn Staley, one of the smartest minds in basketball, said something that got me thinking. She called Caitlin Clark a rising tide lifting all boats. That's deep. It means Clark didn't just make herself look good, she made the whole league look good. And that's the key right there. The WNBA's got a chance to take all that excitement Clark brought in and use it to shine a spotlight on other players. They've got talent all over the court. Now they just need to get people to notice it. Imagine turning on a WNBA game and not knowing who's gonna blow your mind that night. Maybe it's Wilson with a monster double-double, or some rookie coming out of nowhere with a game-winning 3. That's the kind of unpredictability that keeps fans coming back for more. But let's be real, it's not gonna be easy. The league's gotta get creative with their marketing. They need to tell stories, build narratives, make every player feel like someone you want to root for. It's not just about what happens on the court, it's about connecting with fans off the court too. And you know what? This might actually be good for the WNBA in the long run. Think about it. If they can build a league that doesn't depend on just one star, they're setting themselves up for long-term success. It's like diversifying your portfolio instead of putting all your money on one hot stock. The challenge now is to take all that momentum from Clark's rookie season and spread it around. Get people excited about the game itself, not just one player. It's a tall order, but if they pull it off, the WNBA could come out of this stronger than ever. Sure, Clark's gone for now, but her impact, that's sticking around. And you know what's crazy? This whole situation might be exactly what the WNBA needs to level up. Think about it. Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball, she changed the game. Her rookie season was like a fireworks show that never stopped. Even though she's out of the playoffs, people can't stop talking about her. That's the kind of star power that doesn't just fade away. Let's break it down. Clark came in and viewership jumped 400%. That's not just good, that's game-changing. She wasn't just scoring points, she was scoring fans. New people were tuning in, people who'd never watched a WNBA game before. And you know what? A lot of them stuck around. But here's where it gets interesting. Clark isn't just the face of the Indiana Fever, she's becoming the face of the entire WNBA. That's huge. We're talking about a rookie who's already got the kind of star power that can lift an entire league, and the best part, she's just getting started. Now, I know what you're thinking, but she's out of the playoff. How's that good for the league? fair question, but think about this. Clark's exit isn't the end. It's like a cliffhanger in your favorite TV show. Everyone's gonna be buzzing about her return. The anticipation is gonna build and build. And let's be real, the WNBA isn't just sitting around waiting. They're using this time to shine a light on other stars. Players like Aja Wilson are stepping up, showing that the league's got depth. It's not just the Caitlin Clark show anymore. But here's the kicker. Clark's influence goes way beyond the court. Her star power is bringing in fans from all over the world. We're talking about people who've never even watched basketball before tuning in to see what all the fuss is about. And once they start watching, they're getting hooked on the whole game. So yeah, viewership might be down right now, but the seeds Clark planted, they're still growing. The league's got a chance to take all that new interest and turn it into long-term fans. It's like Clark opened the door, and now the WNBA's job is to keep people coming through it. And you know what's really exciting? This could be the start of something big for women's sports in general. Clark's not just a basketball star, she's becoming a cultural icon. Young girls are seeing her and thinking, I could do that. That's the kind of inspiration that can change the game for generations. So here's the deal. Clark's exit isn't a setback, it's an opportunity. The WNBA's got a chance to build on her success, to show that the league is more than just one player. They can use this time to highlight other stars, to tell more stories, to get people invested in the game itself. And when Clark comes back, watch out. All that anticipation, all that built-up excitement, it's gonna explode. We might see viewership numbers that make that 400% increase look small. All right, let's wrap this up. Caitlin Clark showed us how one player can flip a league on its head. But here's the thing. The WNBA can't just sit around waiting for the next superstar. They've got to keep the ball rolling. So what's next? The league's got to spread the love, highlight other players, build up new stars. It's not just about finding the next Clark. It's about making every game a must-watch. Here's where you come in. Keep watching, keep supporting. There's talent all over the court, and you don't want to miss it. The WNBA's changing, and you're part of that change. Remember this. Caitlin Clark may have left the court, but the game she changed is still in play. Who's ready for the next quarter? The ball's in your court now, fans. Let's see where this goes.